I have a confession to make. I think I'm starting to hate my AI chatbot. And I have a feeling that you might be too. You know that wow moment, that flash of digital magic we all felt just a little while ago? Well, it's been replaced by, well, this. That constant low-grade frustration, that feeling that the revolutionary tool that we're all using and we're promised is now just a slightly more articulate search engine that gets things wrong with incredible confidence. It feels like they've hit a wall. Like all that rapid improvement suddenly slammed on the brakes, and now we're left with something that's not the real story. Something that's just stuck. The shocking truth is that the technology is still getting better, more powerful, more sophisticated every single day. And the real problem is that the AI has not stopped improving. The real bottleneck is us, you and me. We all feel it. The magic is gone. And you may ask your chatbot for a simple recipe and it confidently lists ingredients that don't even exist. You ask it to summarize an article and it misses the entire point. For many of us, the experience is defined by repeated complaints and getting stuck in a conversational dead end. In fact, when a chatbot doesn't understand a question, the user frustration rate can skyrocket to 84–85%. This has led to a widespread feeling, even among AI researchers, that we're hitting a plateau. The massive leaps in performance we saw between model generations, like the jump from GPT-3 to GPT-4, have seemingly shrunk to tiny, incremental steps. Some in the field of AI talk about the challenge of diminishing returns, where just throwing more of the public internet at these models doesn't make them significantly smarter. They've basically read everything there is to read, and now the improvements are getting smaller. It's easy to look at this and conclude that the AI revolution is fizzling out. But that's a dangerously incomplete picture. While the user experience might feel stagnant, the underlying technology is not standing still. The global chatbot market is projected to grow from the current $7.76 billion in 2024 to over $27 billion in 2030. Companies are still pouring billions into this technology, and the user base is enormous. As of early 2025, ChatGPT alone has reached nearly 800 million weekly active users, handling over 1 billion queries every day. And there is a story out there right now about OpenAI having difficulties with their finances. So it stands to reason that they are probably going to start charging ChatGPT users more for what they're wanting to use. And that could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing. In any case, OpenAI is seeing that there has to be some way to monetize this, and they're looking for some way to do so. So what's really going on here? If the tech is advancing, and to some extent the money is still flowing, why does it feel like our digital assistants are getting dumber? The answer begins when we stop looking at the code that's being written for these and start looking at how we, the users, are reacting to it. The problem isn't about data. It's about our inflated expectations and our plummeting trust in the AI experience. The fundamental misunderstanding that poisons our relationship with AI is that we see a thinking machine, when what we're really talking about is the world's most sophisticated parrot. If you think about it, it's much like a professor with a research assistant. The professor asks the research assistant to find the information that he needs to write his paper or his book. And he does, the research assistant diligently goes out and gets that information. And then and then the research assistant brings it back to the professor. Now the professor doesn't make anything new. He only creates something out of the information that he's been given, and that's much like AI chatbots. An AI chatbot is basically a large language model. Its primary function is not to know or understand or believe anything. Its function is to predict the next plausible word in a sequence. Think of it as autocomplete on a godlike scale. When you ask it a question, it doesn't search a database of facts for the truth. It scours trillions of data points from the internet, all of our books, articles, forum posts, rambling comments, and generates a new sentence that is statistically likely to be a good response to what you asked. It doesn't know if what it's saying is true or false, only that it looks like the kind of answer that a human would give to the question that you asked. For the first year, this was incredible. We'd never seen anything like it. It could write poetry, debug code, explain quantum physics. Our minds were blown, and we did what humans always do when we encounter something that communicates with us. We anthropomorphized it. We gave it a personality. We expected it to have consciousness, intent, and a grasp of the truth. We expected a human-like mind in the machine. And that's where the trouble started. We created an expectation gap. Marketing and initial hype set us up for natural, context-aware conversations, but these models still struggle with complex or ambiguous questions. They often lack a consistent persona, sometimes switching from a formal academic to a casual friend in the same conversation, which feels completely robotic and undermines our trust. And because they don't truly understand, they lack emotional intelligence. They can't detect sarcasm or read between the lines, which can make interactions feel unnatural, frustrating, especially in sensitive situations. This creates a vicious cycle. We expect a mind, but we get a model. When the model fails to act like a mind, when it gets a simple fact wrong or misunderstands our intent, it's not just a technical error. It feels like a personal betrayal. It's jarring, and every time that happens, it erodes the single most important currency for any new technology, the human trust factor. It's this crisis of trust that's at the heart of the problem. We're so focused on the AI's failures that we're starting to miss its incredible potential. If you're getting value out of this breakdown and want to understand the technologies that are shaping our future, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that deep dives like this are what people want to see, and it helps me keep making them. Now here is the central paradox. Even as some user frustration grows, general trust in AI is actually slowly increasing. A 2025 report found that 43% of consumers now trust information from an AI chatbot, up from 40% of the previous year. But this trust is incredibly fragile. Studies show that concerns over data privacy and how companies use our information continue to be a significant barrier to growth. This leads us to the trust paradox. The more we rely on these tools for important tasks, the more damaging our failures become. When a chatbot gives you a wrong answer for a trivia question, it's funny. When it gives you an incorrect medical or financial advice, it's dangerous. Because the AI is designed to sound authoritative even when it's making things up, even when it's hallucinating, we're left in a constant state of uncertainty. We can't tell when it's being a genius and when it's being a fool. This uncertainty forces us to second guess everything and makes us hyper aware of every mistake, every nonsensical sentence, every time it says, as a large language model. Our trust erodes, and as it does, we become less willing to use the AI for the very complex tasks where it could, with the right guidance, still be incredibly useful. So what is the path forward? If just making models bigger is hitting a wall of diminishing returns, what comes next? The future of AI improvements isn't just about scale. It's about making systems smarter, more efficient, and more trustworthy. This is where the field of explainable AI, or XAI, becomes critical. One of the biggest problems with AI today is its black box nature. We often don't know why it gets a certain answer. Explainable AI, or XAI, is an emerging field that aims to change that by building systems that can show their work, cite sources, and justify their reasoning. Imagine an AI that not only gives you an answer, but also provides footnotes, links to credible sources, and explains the logic it used. Well, this is still a developing area. Achieving this kind of transparency is seen as essential for building trust, especially in critical fields like healthcare and finance. Secondly, the focus is shifting to better conversation design and feedback loops. Developers are realizing that a powerful model isn't enough. You need to design the user journey carefully, provide clear ways to escalate to a human when the bot gets stuck, and create robust systems for the AI to learn from its mistakes. But the most important shift has nothing to do with the technology itself. It has to do with us, you and me. We have to recalibrate our expectations. We have to stop seeing AI chatbots as omniscient oracles and start seeing them for what they are. Incredibly powerful, but inherently flawed tools. They're not a replacement for human thinking, they're an augmentation of it. The improvement we're looking for isn't just in the code, it's in our own literacy. It's in learning how to ask better questions, how to verify the answers we get, and how to use these systems as a creative partner rather than an infallible expert. The narrative that AI chatbots have stopped improving is a comforting illusion. It lets us off the hook. It suggests the technology has failed, when in reality, you and I, are the ones who are failing to understand it. The initial explosion of wonder has given way to the slow, difficult work of integration. The tech is still advancing at a breakneck pace, but we've reached a new bottleneck, not one of processing power or data, but of human psychology. We are wrestling with what it means to trust a machine that doesn't think, to collaborate with a tool that doesn't understand, and to find value in something that is designed to be plausible, but not necessarily truthful. The next great leap forward in AI won't be about trillions of new parameters. It will be about transparency, reliability, and a fundamental shift in our own perspective. So, the next time my chatbot or your chatbot gives you a frustratingly dumb answer, remember, you're not just looking at a flawed piece of technology, you're looking in a mirror. And it's reflecting back our own impatience, our own inflated expectations, and our own struggle to adapt to a world that's changing faster than we are. Now, what's the next step? Is it changing yourself or is it changing the technology? Please check back with us and we will be doing more in-person videos about technology and science to help you understand. Thank you for watching.